Hello, and welcome to the About Healing podcast, a show created for those on or awakening into their spiritual journeys, and who are ready, wanting, and learning how to heal themselves. I am your host, About Healing medium and certified spiritual healer, Cherie Buckman. It is my purpose to guide others to the path of self-healing and to inspire those on their spiritual journeys in finding their truths. Join me as I share my experience and unfiltered perspective in healing, as well as the incredible wisdom of the loving energy that guides us. Let's begin. Well, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to a very special episode of About Healing podcast. It is special because I do have another amazing person here from my tribe that I am so excited to have on and speak with you today. But of course, just like before, I'm keeping you all in suspense for a moment while I pull the card from the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. This is the card for the week to kind of get us going. If any of you are following this, the card this week is hydrate. Ooh, if Copper were here right now, she's not with us today. Copper, listen. Water is life. It's a resource we need to greet with deep reverence and respect. On this blue planet, water is in abundance. However, clean, fresh drinking water can be challenging to find in some communities. Whenever possible, go out of your way to have enough clean water to drink and set the intention to make drinking water a sacred experience. Infuse your water with positive intentions. Adorn your water vessels with sacred symbols and uplifting words to infuse the contents with positive vibes. Drink spring water to enjoy many vital minerals and nourish your body. Remain in awareness of how blessed you are to have clean drinking water, and be mindful of how you can ensure that others have it too. Through making eco-conscious choices, you can help preserve the resources of the planet and support access to clean drinking water for all beings. Oh, I like this one. And just as a further for the journal prompt that goes along with this card, it is, are you happy with your water source? If not, can you upgrade your water supply?
Hello, everyone. This is Rachel from the About Healing team, and I'm here today to tell you about a self-love box that we are offering this month on the About Healing shop. This box is full of all the items we need to learn to love ourselves. A QR code to a guided self-love meditation by Cherie that is only available in this box. The box is so full of crystals and sage and so many other wonderful things. You're going to have to go on to the About Healing website and look for yourself how amazing this box is. The box is selling this month only for the amount of $22.22, and that includes free shipping. Order your self-love box today.
So let's get going because I know I am geeked out here. I want to introduce our guest today. Her name is Karin Tobiason. Karin is an amazing psychic who is developed in astral projection, bringing her behind the veil to access the Akashic records. Before becoming a teacher and healer, she was an award-winning corporate publicist who even helped her clients book on Oprah. After her burnout, she embraced her spiritual path after having two near death experiences in her life, which has now led her into this high frequency path of spreading love and healing on shows such as Beyond the Ordinary and You Wealth Revolution with Darius. And now About Healing podcast. So welcome, Miss Karin Tobiason.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you, my tribe member, my most beloved.
I didn't pay her to say that, I promise. See, this is still how weird and awkward I get at taking compliments. I'm working on
I
it.
like
I'm
to say
aware.
thank you, I know.
But I am so excited to have Karin on. And I think with any other guest I have on here, I love to share the experience of how we met. So, would you mind if I shared that story?
No, I would love to hear it. Thank you.
Okay. Well, this was probably it was last summer, and a friend of mine, for all of you out there, you all know Katie Sass, who was my first, co-chair, co-host here on About Healing podcast. I was going through something, we were having some of our weekly conversations, and she forwarded me a Beyond the Ordinary episode. She's like, "Cherie, this is what we were just talking about. Have a listen." To this day, and before that day, she has never sent me an episode of Beyond the Ordinary, just FYI. But she sent it to me and I listened. And in that moment, it was Karen. Karen was on that episode, and I just was overwhelmed and completely drawn to her energy. So much so, she had a class going on. I signed up for it, I was in it, and you had oh my goodness, like hundreds of people in that class, right? That's what
Yeah.
it felt like anyway, because there were a lot of people that jumped on those weekly calls. And then it kind of went from there because you were also offered a reading with it. And so we had our one on one. And then I think it was just like from that moment, we're like, yes. Right. So honestly, for me in that moment, it was, I don't know, you have this amazing energy about you and this knowledge and this wisdom that I get so drawn to. And it's as if you are here, it's like the sister teacher. Not only that, just this inspiring person to kind of pull us out of those low moments. And so we talked about that wellness tribe, and Karen has been that for me since we met that, had that one reading and we met, and she's been open to communicating with me, and so she's pulled me out a couple of times already.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, and I also want to say, I don't remember readings 10 minutes after them. They're completely gone. But I do remember specifically getting a message about you doing that retreat. So,
Right.
and it wasn't about the retreat, it was about the hotel, actually. And I do remember that. I do remember that piece. So beautiful for you to have taken that all the way into fruition, just trusted and run with it.
Right, and that's right. I had remembering back, so I'm the same way. I never remember my sessions either. It kinda just gets wiped clean, but
Yeah.
it was, and I think it was even in that moment in that I was like, "I would love for you to be a speaker," and I was barely putting it together. I had no idea what was going on, but Karen was my first speaker that I knew. I'm like, "Yes, you right here. Will you?"
I know. How crazy is this?
I know, and here we are getting closer and closer. Karen, actually, can you tell us more about what you do? I just want people to hear about this amazing work that you do and what you
Wow,
talk
I
about.
don't even know where to quite start with this. So I'm a psychic, I'm a medium, I do readings and I teach classes. I love teaching. I know that if I spend a little bit of time with somebody, that they will heal whatever it is that they are looking to heal. And it's not me healing, it's me holding the space for them to heal and go inside and start their own work. I'm humbled with the miracles that I see every day with that. Absolutely humbled. And the other thing that I do is I'm actually shown when I'm in a reading with somebody. Um, I'm jumping all over the place. I'm actually shown their blueprint. I'm shown where they came from. I'm shown their lessons. I'm shown why they came forward, and literally how they can make that one or two little tweaks in order to just step on path and just find that like beautiful bliss and happiness and fulfillment and do what they're really good at and do what they love to do, and not only that, but overcome all the spooky wookies, so that they can step on their path, not be afraid to be seen, not be afraid to be heard, and not be afraid to authentically be themselves. So I have access to the Akashic records. I work with a lot of star seeds that just don't understand what they're doing here. I work with absolutely everybody, but my very favorite part of what I do is teaching people so that they can do it for themselves. And if they choose, they can also heal and then teach others how they can do themselves. Is I will be successful when everybody has a teacher, everybody has access.
Yes, the domino effect, that ripple effect.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So, real quick, because I know that some of our listeners are still kind of new to these things. Can you explain the Akashic
The
records?
easiest way for me to describe the Akashic records is that when our souls are born, we choose to take on all of these lives in order to grow our souls. And so many of us who are here on the planet right now, we've been here. We have been doing this for so many times. We've been here so many times, and we've been kind of kicked around and beaten up, and we have gotten scared, and we've lost our religion, so to speak, where we know that we are supposed to be in unconditional love and peace, and we allow something to scare us. And then we bring that forward with us in order for us to heal that, and or the way that I describe it is literally like, oh, there's a thought, there's a feeling that I'm not good enough, that I'm not special enough, I don't know enough yet. Who do I think I am? Now there's a thought, and there's a feeling that there's probably no place in your future. And my system is very simple. Just send it back to the light. And that's all you need to
Mhm.
do to heal any kind of Akashic records. So the Akashic records are all the experiences that you've had, all of the wisdom that you have gathered, all of the beauty, all of the knowing, all of the scientific stuff you've learned, everything you've learned, and you pull this forward. Um, uh, you pull it forward with, I call them spooky wookies, all the times where people killed you for speaking your truth, burned you for speaking your truth,
Mhm.
for being scary. And so those are all the records. And that
Mhm.
also includes my guides made it very clear to me that when we step over and we go up, and I'm just going to call it heaven, we just go up because everybody knows what I speak of, is we have a choice where we go next. And many people have chosen to go save planets, go save, the occupants on planets. A lot of little star seeds, a lot of little extraterrestrials who are down here right now who just like keep looking up at the sky and saying, "Oh my gosh, that feels like home. I don't know what I'm doing down here."
I love all of this.
Yes,
Oh my
so we can
goodness.
also, I also have access to those Akashic records as well. They may not be, I don't know how to describe it much more than, okay, so you chose to ride around in a spaceship and save a planet, but at least you know what you were doing. You know?
Right.
And dots connect down here for you.
Yes.
So
Yes, I love it. And, for anyone out there like, wow, because I know that I have some new people on here, they're going through awakenings and they're hearing this for the first time. It's like, whoa, how do you prove something like that? I don't know about you, Karen, but it's the same thing. And I just feel like sharing this that when we do Akashic record reading, so when we're sharing that information past, like for me, it's past lives, if I'm going into, your purpose in these lessons, of course that's not something we can prove. There's no hard evidence to do that. However, it's always that feeling because no matter what we're bringing up, there's a feeling of truth that we can feel so deeply. And for instance, I want to give this as an example. So, Karen, I had a reading with Karen and she brought up some big pieces. So, I have some fears about, and I've made this known on this podcast, speaking my truth, of standing out, that those were big fears. And so, and during my session with her, she brought up the facts you were talking about past lives, of being burned at the stake or having these lives where I did anything and spoke about these things. And yeah, really, really bad things happened. Can we prove that? No. But I know, and I felt it immediately when she said that, because when she brought that up, I was like, yep, because it is. I have so many fears, and I can almost like see the flashes of the scenes in my mind happening from there. And those are real fears inside of me. And those were created Not like in this lifetime, nothing has happened to create that, but I brought them with me. I don't know, I just find it fascinating that we had to talk about it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And, no, I'm not here to prove anything, but,
Mhm.
I do know that it's about the resonance with the other person. And I love the
Mhm.
saying, "Dots connect for them." As Steve Jobs always
Yes.
said, and I loved, is you cannot connect dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. And when an Akashic Records reader tells you the story about a past life, you will be able to connect a lot of dots. And that's real. You'll go, oh, that's why I'm afraid of this. That's why that. That's why I'm attracted to this. This is
Yes.
why. And so it's your own resonance. It has nothing to do with, I'm not a scientist. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm just here to share.
Yes, I love how you put that into words. I adore it so much. It gets me I don't know, I am so excited right now. I don't know if anybody else is out there just as excited as me, but I am.
No.
And I love it. So I have one more question. Again, these questions are popping up, so I feel like I really want you to explain them. The other one is you mentioned star seeds a couple of times. So I've used the term light workers. What is your definition of a star seed? I really want to know.
Oh, I hate speaking in woo-woo terms. I do, but I hate because what
Mhm.
happens is absolutely everybody will go right back to the very first time they heard that word, and they will apply a meaning to it that is completely irrelevant to what I'm saying. So I'm going to first say I hate all of these like light worker and starseed. And I, however, I'll answer the question. When I'm talking about a starseed, star seeds to me, their energy comes in very kind of extraterrestrial. They're very smart. They're really, really analytical. They're really smart. They have like an electricity with their energy. They
Mhm.
and they don't understand the human condition. They don't understand people. They don't understand, and a lot of that is because they're learning how to. They're used to manifesting through their mind. Extraterrestrial thought becomes a thing, and what they're doing now is human beings master, and this is why they all came here, is to master. We create through our heart, and so they're just learning how to create to their heart. Most of the star seeds have spent many lives up in the space, up, as I say, flying around in a spaceship with another team of scientists trying to save planets, trying to save people, trying to clean water. There's not water on all the planets, but out in the solar systems.
Mhm.
And they've come forth with some extreme, really big knowledge, and most of that knowledge is that a thought form, that just thinking a thought will become a thing. Sending a prayer becomes real, and that's where they've come down to master. And when they come and they think a thought and it becomes a thing, if it actually blossoms their heart open, if it just opens up their heart, it becomes even a bigger thing. And if their excitement, if their emotions will get excited about it, they've just given birth to literally like as much as a whole new solar system. So the ET, little extraterrestrials, little star seeds, and most of us come from that. Most of us come from that who are here right now. So powerful, powerful.
Thank you for answering that. That's exactly. I love it. Only because now that I know why maybe I was really drawn to ask that question because I think I needed to understand that term for myself too a little bit better. But as soon as you said that, I could already pick a few people out of my life. I'm like, yes, yes. And I'm like, this is so important for them. I feel like this would make a lot of sense for them too to hear this, that they're not alone and that I don't know. I think when we talk about these things, I get, like you said, these woo woo words. A lot of these words I don't like using too, because the moment I say one of those words that it's triggering for someone, or when they learned about that term, it was in a different way. So I kind of lost them all. But it again is that power of words that we spoke about in another episode that it doesn't matter what the word is, it's the energy behind it, it's the definition, right? So we're curious about the definition. So you can call it anything you want, You've been changing that a few times, I noticed, Karen. I love it. Let's call this heaven. And some people that is heaven, and some people that's just our light space or that's home, or again, doesn't matter the term. It's the what does it mean to you? We're talking about that, that general meaning behind it. So that's amazing.
Yeah, just kind of finding that general meaning that everybody can. I'm gonna go with resonate again. And it's so funny when I think of light workers, I think of the beings that came in that have like a celestial connection. And it's okay to be all of us, whatever we are is fine.
Mhm.
Whatever we are, we come from other planets, we come from other galaxies, we come from way back in the beginning of time. It doesn't matter. We're all here on purpose. We're all so important, and we bring such unique and beautiful and important gifts. And what I love about it when I'm talking to us is we're all so powerful. And I love that so many people have no idea. I don't know what my gifts are. It's like it's the most obvious thing in the world, my love. Oh, that
Absolutely. Yes.
little thing. It's like, no, that literally is to bring
Right.
peace on earth.
Yeah, it's your understanding, it's your uniqueness. It's that one thing that you feel is so different or unique, or you wish you had more superpower. Just know that that is the superpower. And not everybody has that uniqueness or whatever that one piece is. Thank you for saying that, Karen. Absolutely. Oh, I'm getting chills right now everywhere just talking
Right,
about
I
like,
know.
yes.
Well, I have so many people like, "Oh, that old thing, that little thing? No, no." And it's like, "No,
Yeah.
you have learned so much. You have collected so much information from all these different worlds, all these different times, all these different people. You've had all these different experiences, and now you're just kind of putting it together and creating an orchestra, a beautiful piece of orchestra music with it all." And that will be your contribution to bringing peace on earth.
Yes. And so speaking of, and you were talking about that in light workers. So for me, like when I'm talking about light workers, this is same, it's the healers, right? These are the
Right.
healers coming into this planet, the ones who chose, these light workers I see as healers. You chose to come back in this time. You chose to take this lifetime to come in and do work to help others, to raise this collective consciousness, to bring more peace on earth. And while it doesn't feel like maybe like even for me or you or any one of us may not feel that we're making a really big difference, it's like, oh, well, it's such a small thing, or whatever we feel is, well, that's just me every day. But just know that us being that every day or us doing whatever work it is, like our healing work is huge, because the healing work we do here in our lifetime on this dense planet is massive explosion ripples that goes all throughout our universe and the galaxies outside of this.
Yeah, it's like your little drip of water in the ocean. You are no longer a little tiny drop. You are the ocean. And I just have to, may I got pulled out of I'm working on a brand new course right now. So I'm getting pulled out and shown all these experiences and trying to figure out what they're trying to tell me. I got pulled out, if I may, I got pulled out of my sleep the other night. This was just a couple nights ago. And I got pulled, and I got dropped into a prison. And it was dirty and a really harsh energy. It, people were fearful. They were really, there was a lot of darkness. And this wasn't in the US, this was someplace else because it wasn't a normal prison. And I was actually asked to just sit in a corner and watch one of the prisoners. And he was burly. He was like, he was scarred. I mean, he was really scary. He was scary. But what his life purpose was in this life, my guides made very clear to me, is somehow there had been a feral kitten in the prison, and he had nurtured this relationship with this kitten. This kitten was feeding it and taking care of it, but it took a long time. It was just afraid of him, and actually pulled it in. And what he did was taught himself unconditional love. And all the other awful prisoners would come in and like, oh, can I spend some time with the kitten? And oh, and they were petting, and I brought some of my food for the kitten. And what they showed me was this blanket of peace and unconditional love that covered this whole universe from this one act of this one human being who turned darkness into light. And so big. But so many people that are here right now, they feel nudged. They feel like I need to get out there, and it doesn't mean you have to get out there in a way uncomfortable to yourself. Yes, it does, but it
Yeah, we have to get out of our comfort zones.
but every
But it doesn't have to be massive.
Yeah, it
Yes.
doesn't have to be, this huge thing that it just is. It is just that one act of unconditional love or peace that actually saves
Mhm.
this world. It was the most profound, and I have to say, when I landed there, I mean, I was afraid. I mean, it was just like that energy was really tough. But so whatever blossoms your heart, whatever makes you excited, whatever you love to do, whatever it is that you're good at, that is what you're meant to do here. Yeah, and in that case with that man, they actually showed me he volunteered to come in and go through utter hell, just go through getting beaten up and, going through,
Mhm.
addiction problems and, abandonment and a lot, and in order to learn love, unconditional love.
Mhm.
Uh, um, so I just want to say the amazing many of us, we've all gone through struggle, and just if you look at it as a gift to get you into your life purpose, it'll make the little trip easier. It won't be easier, I'm lying.
It's all difficult, this is life, it's not
Yeah,
meant to be. We're taking the advanced course here for sure.
yeah.
But Karen, I have to tell you, I loved that story, but a couple of nights ago, I woke up early in the morning and I couldn't go back to sleep because I too had a dream about being in prison in another country
Oh my god.
over very interesting circumstances. This dream, and I remember vividly, I don't remember my dreams. My vivid dreams are always for a purpose. And in this moment, I understand and recognize it after you said your story. Because I swear, when you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I had the same type of dream. It was a different situation. I was living someone else's life. I was in another country on vacation. I was someone very unaware, affluent kind of a thing. I had my kids. We were walking down to the beach, through whatever little village. And one of my kids, I just kind of walked. I had one of them, and the other one, I got distracted. All of a sudden, someone took him. And I turned around and I knew exactly where he went. I ran in, but I had my other kid with me, someone younger, and I ran in there and I'm trying to negotiate. And I'm in there trying to negotiate, trying to get my kids and filtering through my system, how am I going to get out of this? And eventually there was a moment where I was able to like tell my kid, the one who was taken, I'm like, run to the hotel and don't stop for anything. You just keep running. And we had this moment where he ran and then I started running with the other little kid and then people were after us and then it like shifted. So what shifted, all of a sudden I was in a prison. I, the mom, it was like as if I'm living this life as this person. I was in there somehow because I was in another country, I was found at fault for something and I was ripped away and I was the one imprisoned. So falsely imprisoned for something. But what happened, this was like a long time that had passed and I had so much grief and anger and all these things. But I was watching this person turn it into something else. And all of a sudden it was like, I was like watching a movie all of a sudden. And then a lawyer came in, like someone who was there, had read on this story, was like, "No, I have to help this person. Something's wrong here." And they came in and they saw this woman who I guess I was playing this part, who had lost her kids, who was in prison, false imprisonment in this other country. It was horrible conditions. But whatever she had there, she created something amazing. She was creating out of like rocks or shells or something that she would find in her like cell and she would create something out of it and then she would put it there on the side as if what can I get you? The lawyer would walk up like what can I get you today? Which one of these do you love? Like was trying to create something positive which created this ripple effect inside the prison because people were going to her even though she was of a different culture, a different race, someone who was affluent before, but it changed her completely. It was something where she had to look at her circumstances, but how can I create this into something better? I don't have control here. Let's stop fighting this and find this. So I saw this too in the same way because whatever she was doing and trying to help, it reached again, like her another country where someone, this a lawyer was like, I got to help her. And then the universe guided, like, you learned your lesson. Now it's time to get you out of there. It was just, wow.
Right? Well, I'm gonna piggyback right on that and say I had a very similar dream to that right before my guides it came down and explained to me this ascension energy and what it means, where our slave shackles were cut, where and we are to identify as our God creator selves. And that, I am just saying I had a very, very similar dream to that, and was able to like put that picture
Mhm.
together, and I'm off and running now. So really, really beautiful. It also feels like you were like timeline jumping and healing past lives.
Oh, absolutely, 'cause, I saw it as if it was mine completely, and I woke up and terrified and checked on my kids. I went straight to my kids. "Are you
Right.
okay?" It
Oh,
was
right. Are they still here?
yeah, I know. No, everything was fine, and I've been kinda closer to them the last couple of days since that dream, but I knew there was a deeper lesson, so I was able to take away the fear, right? Because I woke
Mhm.
up in fear. That's what I did,
Yeah.
because it was immediately my kids, "Oh my gosh, this happened to me." But I was watching something, and I'm glad you said that timeline jump because I felt like it was a big message. Because when you spoke about your dream, it brought me into this. There was just that lesson behind it that you can go through these really horrid experiences and transform completely, and that your trauma or the pain or whatever it is that you've been through, in the bigger scheme of it, like Karen and I, we believe in the way that we see things, like our souls chose it. Believe it or not, we chose to experience these hardships because remember, compassion and our healing and everything else doesn't develop unless you've been through that. Our compassion develops from pain. Becoming that healer, it comes from a person who has healed and been there. This is how we're able to, I guess it's that true empathy, right? That true empathy. And we can really understand someone else's pain. That's what that compassion is. We understand it. How do we help heal it? We're not going to shame someone for going through something. It's like, "You got this. We all got this." And this is like that big connection of what we're drawing together, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when faced with darkness, when faced with fear, our job as a healer, and I describe a healer as somebody who has, it deeply means everything in their world to always leave another person in a better place than they found them. And so coming up against that great block of fear, all that we are to do is just unconditionally love and trust anyway, and that's what heals. And many of us who are on a path to come in and be a major healer, we choose to come in and experience everything that goes wrong, absolutely everything that goes wrong. We want to experience every little facet, every like beat down, every lack of self worth and all of that, in order for us to stand in our sovereignty and to make sure that we will never get knocked down by anybody's story, that it doesn't matter how bad somebody else's experience that you were, your commitment is to leave them in a better place than you found them. And all that means is being able to oftentimes look them in the eyes and basically saying, I am so sorry this has happened. I am so sorry, and we got this. You're going to be fine.
Acknowledgement. Yep.
Yeah,
That acknowledgement is a huge piece. It's like, "I see you, and I see this, and this is real, but we're gonna get back up,
yeah,
and we've got
yeah,
this."
we're fine. Versus the worst thing to do is go, oh my God, now what do we do? What can I do for you?
That victim mode is something that's very low vibrating, and we gotta get ourselves out of that victim mode. Yes, it's happened, and some of these things are very much out of our control. Where can we take that control? It's what we do next. What we do next. It's not the past. Past is done. What we do next with it, that's where we take our power back. That's where we have our control, and that's where we change it. We change everything. And like Karen described, that's where we change again that vibration and this peace on earth that goes and it radiates so far out that you couldn't even fathom how far and how wide people feel that. That people, like energy, feels it.
Yeah, and just know that that little piece of unconditional love, that little piece of your peace and all of your knowledge and everything you know and everything you believe in and everything you care about gets dropped into that ocean, and that ocean becomes everything you care about: unconditional love, radical, inner and outer peace. And it is massive. It's so hard for the human brain to even kind of conceptualize. It's so hard, but I just want everybody to know that every time you go, "Oh my gosh, I love this rose. Look at this flower," that you are literally blanketing this whole universe with absolute love of beauty and art and poetry.
Oh, I felt that. Thank you, Karen. That almost brought tears. I'm like, yes, I feel
Oh.
that. And this is amazing, Karen. I I adore you. I adore everything you have to say. If for anybody who's listening, I mean, as you can tell, it is easy to get sucked into her knowledge and her wisdom that she shares and this amazing connectivity she has to the energy outside of this. Her intuition is strong and she taps into it. If anybody is really looking to learn more about Karen, you can find her. She has her own website at fireflyreadings.com. You can look her up, book your own reading, or come and see her as she is a speaker at the About Healing retreat this year in April. She is not from Michigan with me. She is flying in from a whole other state to come and speak to everybody. So that's so exciting.
Yes, come out. I would love to meet everybody. And I've never been to Michigan ever. I've been to almost every state, never been to Michigan. So I'm very excited to come see the beauty, and meet all of you beautiful, beautiful, wonderful souls. So please, 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 I think it's on April 20th.
Yes, April
And we're
20th.
starting at an ungodly hour of 8 a.m., but I hope to see you all there.
It is, but there's breakfast. There is, but there's breakfast. We have to fit it all in a day. Maybe one day. It's the first year. We'll see how it unfolds as we do more.
It's beautiful. So, yes, please come out. I'd love to meet you. Love to meet you.
I adore it, and I'm sorry, by the way. First of all, I'm honored. I love that you get to come out here for the first time to come see us and be at the event, but I'm also sorry because you're coming in April. It's not our beauty month. That is not spring for us. We're still cold,
Oh,
and everything is still, so I'm just preparing you, and it's still brown trees. We don't actually get the green on our leaves until, like, June.
you know what? Even the brown leaves and the darkened trees, there's a beauty. There's an absolute beauty. And yeah, I'm gonna freeze. Do I wear snow boots? I don't even know how to do it. I never looked.
You know what? Here's the fun thing, and I'll let anybody else hear it who's ever considering coming, and you're like, "It's cold, I'm not going." First of all, it's inside a luxury hotel. We're gonna be really warm. Not only that, because this is Michigan and because we're always cold, the hotel is linked the downtown Grand Rapids area. There is it's a skywalk, and it's all indoors, so you can walk, like, half of downtown through the skywalk, and you don't have to go outside.
Oh my god, it's like
Yeah, it's
Minneapolis.
the best part.
It's like Minneapolis
Yeah.
with their sky. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so if you go outside, you're only going for short distances to get to whatever you need to go, but it takes you a few blocks down and then you can navigate from there. So that's the awesome part about it. So don't worry for all of you who are coming from warmer climates. Because I think actually like half of the people that are coming in are actually flying in from other states. So I'm just pre-warning everybody. I put the disclosure out there now.
Oh my gosh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm very, very
Yeah.
excited. Very excited to meet everybody.
Well, thank you very much, Karen, for coming on. And for everybody else out there, thank you so much. And until next time, you beautiful, amazing souls, be kind to yourself.
With so much love and gratitude, I want to thank you for listening to this week's episode. My hope today is that the message continues to guide you along your path to healing. To learn more about me and my purposeful work, visit my website at abouthealingmedium.com. You can also follow About Healing Medium on Facebook and Instagram, where you can find the episode's healing guidance, quotes, tips, insights, and chances to win free stuff. To ask a question or to share comments, email me at abouthealingpodcast@gmail.com, or feel free to reach me on Facebook and Instagram at About Healing Medium. Until next time, be kind to yourself.